Hello, this is Tracy Evans Langley, and I am here to share my Hippity Hoppity Easter card with you for the NC Demos March 2026 blog hop. So here's my little card. And I did have several people request that I do a quick video and show how I made my little bunny. And so I thought this was a great time because we're showing off the 2024-2026 in colors, which are retiring. So I am featuring Pretty in Pink, which is my absolute favorite, one of my very favorite colors, I think, of all the Stampin' Up! Time. So let's get started. Okay, so what I use to create this card is I have a card base that is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, a piece of basic white that's 4 by 5 1/4 for my inside, and then I have a piece of pecan pie that is 4 by 5 1/4, and I have die cut the circle out of the middle using stylish shapes, the largest circle, and then it is embossed with the birchwood embossing folder, and I'll show you how we get some lines for that. And then we have a piece of 4x4 basic black that is for our little, to cover a little hole there. Okay, so we have those. Put those out of the way for a second. And then I have a piece of basic white scrap that is just a 3/4 inch wide piece. Just pull all this over here. And then all of my circles are cut with stylish shapes. So this is the largest one again. That's basic white. And I did use the basic white thick for my bunny. So I have a circle that is basic white, that is the largest one. I think this is the next to smallest stylish shape. This is going to be our little tail. And then we have the same one for our greeting for our little greeting. And then I used the ovals, the layering ovals, which are retired, but you could use any ovals that you have for the little feet. And those are basic white and Pretty in Pink. And then for my leaves, for my tree, which are going to kind of be my tree branches, this is from the Nature Symphony dies. Okay, so those are those things. So let's go ahead and get started on this card. Let's put it right there so I don't lose it. Okay, so this is a pretty low impact card. It's kind of, instead of punch art, it's kind of, I guess you would consider it die art. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do, since I've already got this piece cut and embossed, is I'm going to take my pecan pie ink pad, and I'm just going to do some direct paper to get some nice texture so you can see those. Gets a little bit more texture on our wood grain. Okay, that looks pretty good. So we'll leave that one alone. And then while I have it out, oh, I am going to use the, with you in mind, I'm going to use this little flower and this little leaf to stamp my inside of my card. So let's go ahead and do that. And of course, that's going to be in Pretty in Pink and Old Olive. I can get my pad open. Okay. I'm just going to stamp 3 little flowers and a couple leaves. So see if we can go back over that one. Give it a little more. Oh, he's a little smudged, but that's okay. All right, so we get that out of the way. And I'm going to grab the leaf and our Old Olive and fill those in. Just fill in some of our little space there with those little Old Olive leaves. All right. Okay, so, and then while we're stamping, let's go ahead and stamp our little greeting. So we've got our Easter, and these are from the Happy and Easter are from the Reason to Celebrate stamp set. And I'm just using Old Olive for both of these. I think. Now that I've lost my card. Yes, I'm going to use Old Olive for both of these. Piercing that so I can with my silicone sheet so I can see that. There we go. Let's try one more time. See if we can get it a little straighter. Ah, that's a little better. About the same. Okay, that's all right. And then we need our circle, our little green circle, and our Hoppity. Okay. And that is all of our stamping for this project. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add some color for our bunny. We're going to give him some color on his little feet and tail with some pretty in pink and a blending brush. Just add all of those, our circle, and our two basic white thick pieces for our feet and our little tail. And use our blending brush. And you can kind of use as much or as little of this as you want. You could also use a dauber if you don't have a blending brush handy. And I'm just doing this super quick. I'm not worried about if it's super even or anything. I'm just trying to get some color on there so it's not so stark white looking. So in fact, who doesn't like a little pink and white bunny? And then do our little feet. Okay, got a little enthusiastic on that foot, but that's okay. Just do the same on this one. And maybe did to the tail and to the body. Okay. It's all good. Okay. So now we're just going to assemble our little bunny. Silicone mat pack, it'll just kind of help us. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to just put the whole card together and we're going to assemble our bunny on our card. So we're just going to start with our inside piece and just glue that flat. And then I'm going to just flip this. Now, we are going to actually, what we're going to do is we're going to add our, basically, we're going to put the black piece down flat, and then we're going to add the pecan piece with dimensionals. So that'll give us, it'll look more like he's jumping into that hole. Okay. So, but to do this, I want to attach it to the back so that I know that I've covered. Okay, so actually we should be fine. Okay, so you just want to get that in the middle, glue that down. Okay, and we did cut this 4x4, so you've got a little bit of wiggle room. Should have plenty of space to cover that will cover that. Will cover our hole. Okay. All right, then we're going to just use some dimensionals. And I did use black dimensionals the last time for this part, so let's use those. One more than we needed there. Let's go ahead and put one right there. There. Let's grab our pick tool, and that'll help us pull some of those off. Maybe. Excuse me. Goodness. All right, I'm ready for the pollen to be over. I don't know about the rest of you, but I am done with the pollen. Okay. All right, so now what we're going to do next is we're going to put in our leaves. And so what you're going to do is just take the leaf and you're just going to snip it because there's not really room to do it. If you do it all here, you can't really manipulate it as nicely. So we're going to just snip it in half, and that'll let us kind of add it a little bit more where we want to add it, okay? And spread it out a little bit more. So just snip them. And I love this leaf. I've used it on just a ton of stuff this year. Okay, so we're going to just put that one here, and we're going to kind of tuck a little bit of it in the hole. So it looks like it's a tree branch. Oops, it's coming out. Okay. Oops. A little bit more that way. There we go. All right, and then I'm just going to attach that with a couple of dimensionals. Well, maybe I am. There. Maybe one more. Let's do one more right there at the top. Okay. That piece is all secured, and then we'll just use this little one and we'll add him in. So we can go ahead and put a couple dimensionals down the side for him. We'll just add him in right. Just trying to keep it on the card, but have as much of it show as we can get to show. And our circle should cover. Yeah, there we go. So see, our circle will cover those stems. Okay, so since we're working up here, we'll go ahead and just add this in. So we need take our little Easter, and we're just gonna cut that at an angle. A little bit of an angle. Or you could leave it straight, or you could rip it, or you could die cut it with something if you wanted to. You could do any of those things. All right. And then on my original design, I did use some pretty in pink ribbon that has retired. So I don't have any of that, so I'm going to use some of the Bubble Bath, which is the, oh gosh, faux linen ribbon, which I think I used last month in our blog hop. And I'm just going to use, I don't know, about, let's see, let's do about 16 inches, and we're just going to fold it back and forth. We're not going to actually even tie a bow or anything. We're just going to kind of just use it more like it's twine than ribbon, which I love to do with this particular ribbon. So we'll just, let's do, fold it back and forth a little. And always snip our ends. And our loops don't even have to all be the same. It can just be, it's kind of just a free form. Okay, and we're going to just add some ribbon. We're going to add that with some tear and tape. That was not quite the way I wanted that. Let's do a little more of an angle that way. All right, and then we're just going to snip those ends so that they're a little more even looking. Maybe. There we go. Okay. And then that's going to go on with some dimensionals. Put that right about there. Try to make it straight. There we go. Okay, and then I'm just going to use a little glue and add my Easter. Make sure I've got the right side. Does look okay. This is that side. Okay. I'll get my little happy Easter going there. I stamped my happy a little lower than I did on my original, but that's okay. It'll be fine. All right, so we've got that. And now we just need to put our bunny in. So we can kind of just work our bunny, get him in there where we want him. So, and I did, so this piece, I am gonna do a dimensional there to hold it on the inside, but then I'm just gonna add some glue at the bottom. Because what I'm gonna pop up is his little tail and his feet. But we will add one little dimensional in there just to kind of hold him down. Let's, we'll just get a little more of the okay. Okay, let's go ahead and add our little tail on. And we'll just do some dimensionals for that. Way more dimensionals than I need. One more. Okay, there we go. Nope. Okay. Take his little tail there. And then we can just add his little feet. Now, before I do add his feet, I am going to go ahead. I'm going to put these on with dimensionals, and then I'm going to draw in his little toes so that I know where they go. Okay, and then we'll adhere that. So let's push that out of the way for just a second. And go ahead and attach his little pads. And if you wanted to, you could, that's that side. You could emboss these if you wanted to. I did not, but you could. If you wanted them to have some texture, that would be cute too. Okay, so let's see. Okay, right, so there's that one. I am not having luck with dimensionals today. Okay, there we go. Nope. Okay. Okay. So there's our little feet. Let's see. Let's pull that one up just a little bit more. Okay. And then I'm just going to use a flat stamp and write marker. And to, oh, actually, no, I'm lying to you. I am using a blends. I am using my basic gray blends because that's apparently what I picked up. Nope. And I'm totally lying. It's the smoky slate. It is the dark smoky slate blends is what I ended up using. Okay, it's been a while since I made this card. And I'm just going to draw in my little toes. Okay, that one wasn't perfect, but that's okay. My little bunny won't hurt. Okay. All right, so now I can just put on my little feet. And I am just going to glue these. So let's see. That one go right there. And then we'll have this one. Down and over just a little bit. Okay. All right, and now we've got that all done, and then we just want to finish up. Wait, I have dimensional backs everywhere. Okay. Somebody's going to get an extra treat when they get a card from me. They're going to have extra little dimensional pieces. And then I'm just bringing in the In Color, the 2024, 2026 In Color flat pearls, which I have loved these this year. And everything I'm using is still available, with the exception of course, those oval dies, which are not, which have retired, unfortunately, because we really like those. Okay, so because I moved things around a little bit, I'm going to move my dots and put them in a little bit different place than I did on my original. But that's okay. That's not where I want that one. Okay, there we go. And then one more, because we have to have three. Let's put it that way. Let's just put it right there. Okay. And then we're just going to finish up by giving our card a little burnish with our bone folder. And there you have it, our little Hippity Hoppity Easter Bunny card. So thanks for watching. And if you have any questions, just let me know. I'd love to help you add any of these goodies to your stash or make your own fun bunny cards for Easter. Have a great day and stay safe and crafty, everyone. Bye.